He didn't do that. When he's writing to the people in these 7 churches, he said, I'm your brother and companion in tribulation. He's their companion. You know what that means? He's doing the same things they're doing. He's not like some of these pastors that are out there that they'll have their churches go out soul winning, but they never go soul winning. You'd be amazed at how many pastors of soul winning churches don't go soul winning. You'd be amazed by that. I think that's pathetic. Why would you ask your people in your church to do something that you won't do yourself? That's not right. Who do you think you are? John didn't see himself as that. John didn't get to avoid doing the dirty work because of his position. Hey folks, I'm going to send myself over to this area where things aren't real difficult. I think I've earned that right. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm the only apostle left. I'm the beloved apostle, meaning Jesus loved me the most. No, he didn't do that. He didn't get to avoid the dirty work. He didn't get to lay out of a fight because of previous exploits and victories. All right, hey, John, we're fighting battles now. Well, let me tell you about the battle I fought 20 years ago. There's a lot of preachers out there like that. Oh, back when I was in Bible college, we used to go soul winning for 8 hours a day. Oh, great. That was back when you were in Bible college. That was 30 years ago. You got these preachers that get up, especially these evangelists, and they're telling the same stories from 30 years ago. Hey, why don't you have any stories from the last 30 days? Because they're not doing anything anymore. But because they had these great exploits in the past, they never have to do anything again. And folks, I've known evangelists who had like a big, moving, dramatic story that literally had a ministry going around telling everybody their inspiring story. Let me tell you about what I went through one time. Okay, great. But, most of us aren't ever going to end up, with, out in the jungle and all of a sudden go walking and see an almost naked guy with an arrow right in our face. I listened to a missionary tell that story one time. He's from Vanuatu, and he would tell that story about how a guy was wearing pretty much nothing but a tie, except, not around the waist. And all of a sudden he's walking along and he looks and there's an arrow right in front of his face, all pulled back, about ready to get shot. And he had all kinds of great stories that he would tell. But you know what? Most of us aren't ever going to end up in that situation. It was pretty cool hearing that story, but how about something for what we're going through right now? How about something for what we're dealing with right now? Hey, I'm glad you fought those battles way back then. I've listened to preachers talk about the battles they fought in the 70s, when the government was going after their Christian schools and things and the stands that they took there. I've been listening to those stories for decades. In fact, and I hate to even bring this up, but I got to bring it up. I got to bring it up, but maybe I shouldn't reveal this, but it's too late now. I already got the cat out of the bag. But with all this stuff with these Illinois churches starting services, some of the pastors were talking the other day, and they were like explaining how we were all going to just open up our churches anyway, and how we're going to be ready. And if they come and they arrest the pastor, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have another guy ready to step up and take his place. He's going to get arrested, and another guy's going to come and take his place. And that's what they did back in the 70s. That's what they did back in the 70s when the government was coming after their Christian schools and things. Folks, I've heard these stories for decades. And all of a sudden, these preachers from that era are talking about that, how this is what we're going to do. This is what you young guys better be ready to do. You young preachers, you've never been up against anything like this. We've faced that kind of stuff in the past, and this is what you all better be ready to do. Are you all ready to do this? And then, when it comes time for them to finally do it, they get a letter. We can't do it. We're backing down. You know what? I'm glad you had your exploits 40 years ago, but we need you now. Now we need you doing something. We got a fight and a battle going on now, and we don't need you sitting on the sidelines talking about your previous exploits. We need you doing something now. Oh, well, we need to respect these people. These were great things they did in the past. I get that, but we need them now. Because you don't just get to achieve this superhero status where you never get criticized anymore, where you never have to take a stand again, where you now live under a different set of rules than everybody else in the church just because of something you did in the past. I'm sorry, I don't care what great things we do. We're all under the same rules today. Today. And if I get thrown in jail today or next week, I don't get to talk about that for the next 30 or 40 years. And then every time there's a battle that comes and I want to sit on the sidelines because I'm scared. Oh, y'all think I'm a wimp? Remember when I went to jail 30 years ago? Oh, we need you now. We need you now, folks. I mean, the kind of thing aggravates me. But people who have their great stories, they get passes all the time. That's like they have now achieved this level of Christianity where they get another set of rules. Folks, we're never going to get to that. I don't care what we go through, we never get to play by a different set of rules because of what we've accomplished or what we've been through. It's not the way it works. That is wrong.